you with a lesson on how to play Happy Birthday. It's my daughter's birthday coming up, and I figured this would be a great lesson to share with you guys because it's always somebody's birthday, right? So being able to play Happy Birthday is a great song to have in your repertoire so that next time it is the birthday of a friend or family member, you can pull this one out and play it for them. And we are not just going to learn the boring old single note version of Happy Birthday. We're going to learn a very beautiful chord melody version, and it's going to sound a lot better and a lot more exciting to play, and it's also very beginner friendly, so this is great for any skill level. So let's go ahead and start diving right in. Let's learn the chord melody version of Happy Birthday so you have it in your repertoire. Alright guys, let's go ahead and learn the chord melody version of Happy Birthday. I'm going to have you start by just grabbing a good old G chord. And you can see it in the chord diagram there on your screen. I like to use the 4-finger G, except in this case we are going to take our pinky off. So we're going to do that regular G chord shape but with an open high E string at the top. And what you'll notice, guys, as we read through this tab is that we want to read this tab very closely and play it exactly as it's written. So when we see this first strum of the G chord, what you'll notice is that it stops right at the B string, right? So it doesn't strum all 6 strings. So as we're going through this tab, just read it really closely and always strum the exact strings that you see. And that is what's going to get the chord melody to come out. So we're going to hear the chords of the song as well as the singing melody. So let's go ahead and start working our way through this. We're going to grab that G chord. We're going to take our pinky off. And then the tab is telling us to strum from the low E string up to the B string. And then as we play this chord melody, what you'll see is that it's basically a mix of strumming and single notes. So our first move here is a strum. And then we have a single note just playing the 3 on the B string all by itself. Then we have an open high E. And so our pinky should be out of there. That should be open already, ready to go for you. And then we're going to come back and play that B string 3rd fret. So here's your first little section. And we're going to go ahead and shift over to a D chord, except it's actually going to start with our pinky coming back in. This is what's called a D suspended chord. So it's like a D chord shape, but you're going to add your pinky to the 3rd fret of the high E string. And we're going to go ahead and strum that. We're going to strum 4 strings. So strumming from the D string down. And then we could take our pinky off and just play a regular D chord. And then we're ready to head back to our G chord. So going back to G, we're going to do it the same way, regular G chord shape, but without the pinky. And we're actually going to play the exact same thing as the first section. So we're going to strum that G chord, stop right at the B string, and play that B string again, 3rd fret, open high E, back to that B string 3rd fret. So that's a repeat of the first section. And now here comes the hardest chord in the song, but don't worry, I'm going to give you an easy way to play it too. So if you want to play it the hard way, it's going to look like this. And so that's going to be an open D string, 2nd fret G string with your index finger, 3rd fret B string with your 2nd finger, and then pinky's going to grab the high E string, 5th fret. So that's a really big stretch, and that's the hardest chord in this song. So if you can do that, fantastic, go ahead and do it. If that's too crazy and too much of a hand cramp, what you can do instead is just do the 5th fret of the high E string. And you could hold that with your ring finger. And you could just strum the D, G, B strings open along with that. So you can just strum from the D string down with your finger on the high E string 5th fret. Alright, so if this crazy chord is a little bit too much for you, you can just sub that out for just playing the high E string 5th fret and just strum 4 strings with that. And then after that, whichever way you want to do it, we're going to go to a G chord. Back to our G chord from there. Alright, so we're back on our G chord, and we're going to play something very similar to the first section of the song. We're just going to strum that G chord right up to the B string again. Make sure you don't strum that high E. And we're going to play that third fret of the B string all by itself again. And we're going to jump all the way up to the 10th fret of the high E string now. And so for a lot of the rest of the song here, we're just going to be using these single finger chords, but we're going to strum some open strings along with them. So when you jump all the way up to 10 here, you can strum the D, G, and B string open along with that high E note. So we're just going to strum from the D string up to the high E, holding down the 10th fret of the high E string. And we're going to start working our way down the next. We're going to move to 7 and do the same thing. Just hold down that one note, 7 on the high E, and play the D, G, and B strings open. And we're moving all the way down to the 3rd fret. Same thing, just holding that one string, 3rd fret of the high E, playing the others open. We're going to add in one more finger now. We're going to add in the 1st fret of the B string. So now we're actually holding 2 strings. But we're going to strum from the D string up to the high E again, holding now the 1st fret and 3rd fret of the B and E string. And we could let go of that E string. We're just going to hold down the 1st fret of B and strum one more time. And we're already almost there now. This is the last section of the song. We're going to jump right back up to the 8th fret on the high E. Same thing, just go ahead and strum from the D string up to the high E. We're going to play that one twice. Then down to 7. Over to 3. Over to 5. And we can end with a nice big G chord. And you can add that pinky in this time. You can play the full G chord. And that is it, guys. Let's hear how that sounds all together. Alright guys, well there you have it. That is how you play the chord melody version of Happy Birthday. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope that next time it is a friend or family member's birthday, you can pull your guitar out and play this one for them. Be sure to check the links in the description below this video. There's a free PDF for you where you can print out the tab for Happy Birthday so that you can continue practicing this one. And be sure to check out the other links down there as well. If you need help learning songs on your guitar, I do free live stream classes every week. Just join my group and you can participate in those classes and learn some songs on your guitar. I write out all the music for you, I break it down for you, and I provide jam tracks. Or if you need help mastering the fundamentals of your guitar, check out Guitar Building Blocks, where you can learn the 7 essential techniques of playing guitar in as little as 7 weeks with muscle memory. The links are all down there in the description for you. And thank you guys so much for checking out this video, and I'll see you next time.